So I'm here with Jacob Lattimore, artist, actor, dancer. I didn't know he had those Chris Brown dance moves until I saw him last night.
I just do what it do. It was dope last night, huh?
It was though. It was dope. And the beauty of it, you walked right in and then went right on your set.
Yeah, absolutely. Cause I had to get up for it today, so I had a real early start today, so I wanted to get on as early as possible.
So what time did you start doing interviews today?
6:45.
Wow.
It's a cool process. Yeah.
So I felt like I learned you a little bit better after watching the movie because your acting has evolved, definitely.
Yeah, I think and this role sort of challenged me and pushed me into in a way where I had to elevate or I had to be better than I was in the last film. I mean, because of the cast for sure, and just the role, playing the concept of time. That's like you think about it, like, okay, well, how do you do that?
Right.
And I think people will be really surprised by the performance. I'm really excited about the film, and a really cool film on healing and trying to get over that hump in life and trying to keep living until there is the end. So it's just it's a really touching film, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
So when you first got the script, how far into reading the script did you know that you definitely wanted to accept the role?
Well, I actually read the script maybe a year before we started shooting because it was a different director attached. It was like a totally different team attached to the film, and that's when I was like, okay, this is a really amazing script. So when they sort of regrouped and I auditioned for the film again, and then that was the first person. I was the first person David had saw for the role, and yeah, he loved it. He loved it, and I just I try to take every audition seriously, and you can walk into a room like that, and you may do really good, but you still may not book the film because of whatever. You may not look the part, so it was just a blessing that I was able to come out with this one, and yeah, I mean, me with this cast with Will, Ed, and Kira and Helen, it's incredible. So hopefully people will start to see me in that light too, where that's where I want to go.
Right, because the way the was casted, it wasn't like it was a role for a 21-year-old boy or a black male or a white male. It was like it definitely just depend on the character of the person. It seemed like they had to look at each and individual character. Now the director said something about everyone who read the script cried. Did you cry when you read the script? Be honest.
No, I didn't cry. I mean, obviously it's very touching. I think once I saw it on screen for the first time, that's when I started crying. Like I started like crying a little bit. I mean, it's a sad movie. It's a very deep film, and but at the same time, it still has those moments where you can just laugh a little too. So.
Right, and it's so funny because Will Smith is such a diversified actor. Like he was really in the zone. Like when he was checked out, he was checked out.
He was in it. He was all in it, and that was really amazing to see as well because they would say cut, and he would be like just a totally another person. You know what I mean? And then yeah, he just he jumped right into himself, Will, because we were filming out in New York and filming out in the middle of the street, and it's like 100 people behind the camera.
You guys had a lot of scenes together.
Yeah, we had a couple scenes together. So yeah, I think I mean he's incredible, great heart, and yeah, he's awesome.
So were you like learning? Like, did it make you more nervous that it was Will Smith? Like, okay, or like, how do you want me to deliver this role? Or you just did what you did?
I think when I first booked it, I was like, oh my God, like I'm working with all these great people. When I met him, and when I first saw Will, I was like, yo, that's Will. Like, I looked at him and like he's glowing, But I had to put all that to the side when we got on set, just so I had to make sure I was focused and I make sure I wasn't like fangirling the whole time, So I gotta make sure I'm doing my job too. So I just
You like, excuse me, can I pinch myself right quick?
Yeah, so but yeah, I had to make sure I was doing my job and making sure I was keep holding my end, and I think people would be really surprised by my performance. So I'm excited.
The first one that was funny with him is when you could tell he was snapping out of it is when Death showed up and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like then he almost went like back into the comedic part of Will Smith right quick.
Yeah, he definitely, like, I feel like Helen's character brings a lot of light to the film, and even like Michael's character and Ed's and even mine too. So
Oh yeah.
I think that was really important while shooting this film, or having those moments where people can laugh a little too.
And your part was very moving because you were an actor acting, like being an actor,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, just that was interesting. And that's always pretty cool to play, and you can have fun with those little jokes too. Like Helen says, yeah, it's like we're in a movie, and we really are in a movie. So it's amazing.
And then, of course, the money and the acting gig. Like, I'm thinking that's a real good acting gig right there. Was that you who upped the money?
Yeah, Rafi's character was definitely about the bread. He was definitely about all the paper. So
Yes. So immediately you still had to put the little urban in it. You know, it was funny when Will was like, it was the young thug. Time was the thug.
he was arrogant and mean. Yeah, he's actually some. Like, when I saw the movie for the first time, I didn't even remember reading that. I was just like, oh wow, and it was just super funny. So it's like those really cool moments that bring light to the film. So
Yeah, and I found myself like comparing time because is time arrogant and ugly and mean? Because you know when you never have enough time, it's like,
right.
okay, come on, come on. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it seems like the days
If
go
time
faster.
if time could talk back to you, like what would he say to you? Like time, and that's what Rafi is saying in that office room. He's saying a day is long.
Right.
You have a lot to do in a day. What are you doing? You're building dominoes. Like, why are you doing that? And then in the film we see why he's building those dominoes, and we see the depthness of that. So it's a good film. Collateral Beauty, December 16th. You gotta go see it.
So comedic timing is everything because I think that if you were a comic, then you wouldn't have been able to do it as serious as you did because you would be trying to balance the two out.
Well, I don't really. I think that I think certain comics are good at a lot of different things, and then certain comics aren't. I mean, for instance, Michael Pena, most of his roles have been funny, but in the film we see him go into a dark place as well, and
He's got like that Seinfeld humor, the kind where you're like, is he joking? You know, I should have said black comics.
yeah,
Because sometimes it's like they
Yeah.
want to be so serious,
Yeah.
and it's like
yeah.
still the comedy in them or the nervous energy a lot of
Yeah.
them have. It tends to make you want to make a joke.
Yeah, and it's hard to find, but we definitely have those people who are so solid and versatile, like the Jamie Foxx, who's he can go from Ray Charles to doing a Jamie Foxx show. Oh, tornado. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's just about some people are good at certain things, and some people are just like gifted in multiple different things.
So when you got the role outside of your manager, who was the first person you called?
I called my mom. That was the first person I called, and I called my parents, my mom and my dad. But when I first heard the news, I didn't tell like all of my friends. I was just like, all right, wait, because I know how this audition process can be. Like, you got the role, we have to switch up the role now because. So I literally waited until like maybe a week before I got like the paperwork, the contract, all that stuff, that like political stuff. So I was just like, all right, yeah, I got this movie with Will Smith. Like I booked it, and they like, oh, that's crazy. So, and then nobody.
You didn't even tell me, and I've seen you several times since then.
we got to. It's just press release. We got to distribute strategically. They say.
So when you read the script and you got the role, what was the first thing you thought to yourself you had to do to personally prepare?
Prepare, like, kind of going back to what I was saying before, like, I didn't even really like what is time? Does he what kind of clothes does he wear? Is he a he or she, or is he like how am I supposed to play time? So I think for me I just tried to focus on just trying to represent the concept of time um, and elaborate on how time is so important and what we do with our time is so precious, and while we're here on this earth, the impact we create is important. So like, I love the quote in the film where love is creation, death is destruction, and time is the terrain in between. It's the bridge that connects the beginning and the end. And what we do on that road to the end, or whatever, or a new beginning, is important.
So, do you think that the movie has made an impact on your life besides just being a role, that it makes you look at time differently, like ever since you guys completed?
Absolutely, because anything else I couldn't really relate to. Like, I haven't really dealt with a close family member passing away, so like I couldn't really I wouldn't say not that I wasn't sensitive to it. It's just like I couldn't really truly relate to that. So I didn't really truly know how that felt, but I definitely related to time, and what we do with our time is so important. And it definitely motivated me to like, okay, what am I doing today? Am I being productive, or am I just like screwing off? So yeah.
Right. So this definitely changes the game for who you want to star in the movie opposite next. So who's up next?
Oh, who's next? Denzel got to be next. Denzel, Jacob Lattimore is in the marketplace. Who else? Jamie Foxx. I really like Shia LaBeouf. I really like Shia LaBeouf.
What about Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is. Yeah, it have to be the right role. Will Ferrell he's a hard person. I mean, like he's so amazing that I would be kind of intimidated.
You think so? And you would be like, what would I do?
He's so quick and so sharp. That would be different. That would be different.
So do you think a film like this definitely makes you want to take a second look at the improv world? Like just improvisation to work on the whole timing thing?
Well, I mean, a lot of this film was improv. I mean, even the last film I wrapped up was a lot of it was improv. And with this film, the script was literally changing maybe every other day. So
Oh yeah, the director said he was literally on set with the actors, like
the writer,
going through it. The writer was.
yeah, and Will doesn't.
It's gotta be difficult, kind of, because you memorize these lines and then he's there and you're like, I already memorized it the other way. Sorry.
And that's why, like, for me, with this film in particular, I didn't really try to memorize the lines. I tried to memorize the topics of what we were talking about and tried to stay along those lines. And that made it a little easier to switch up my thoughts about which line was what. And, yeah, it happens. It's a movie set. It happens all the time, especially with the writer on set. And,
Yeah.
you know, these A-lister actors having so much experience and being in so many films that they can really break down the script and be like, well, this doesn't make sense. How come he's saying that? He's kind of stepping on Death's shoes a little bit. Like, he shouldn't say that. Death should say that. So it's like we were really going into the details with that stuff.
So you learned a lot on set.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning every day. Like, I saw it for the second time. I'm like, oh, that happened. Like, oh, so that's connect. Oh God. So yeah, like I'm literally learning as I keep watching it and as I keep working.
It's the time, like when I lived on the West Coast, I cracked my blinds and that's how I woke up. That was my alarm clock when the sun came up.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
So if it was overcast and it rained, they would call me from the office. And a lot of times they put me on the speakerphone because I was always like, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't have a watch. I just like, okay, you know. And
right.
it was in the
You just look at the sun. You just like, oh, it's about noon right now.
I would know, like, when it hit me. But you do have a biological clock, basically, that wakes you up.
It's been times I'll wake up at the right time just by myself.
Yeah, everyone has an internal clock, and you find that when you don't wake up to your internal clock, it means like you need to cleanse or you need to do all these different things. Yeah, it's weird. Everyone has an internal clock, so you should do stuff consciously without
cleansed because I'm cleansed because I've been waking up on time.
So we're wrapping with Jacob Lattimore, Collateral Beauty. It's a must-see film. Will Smith, amazing. So many A-list actors, amazing. Jacob Lattimore,
Yeah.
above
Definitely
amazing,
gonna
like
get
nominated.
one more thing. Connection, my album, December 9th. The reel is out right now. The video is out right now. Music, film, Jacob Lattimore. Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jacob Lattimore, and I'm rolling out. Yo, it's a hailstorm outside.
All right. Thank you.